to the new exhibit of Cocoa Puffs. Oh, would you look at all these big chocolate puffs for a big chocolate crunch?
Part of your complete breakfast.
I know, the part I just can't resist. Whoa! Oh, that's a big crunch.
Yeah, the big chocolate crunch we love.
Wait!
Where's Sonny?
Man, those big chocolate puffs always pack a big chocolate crunch in Cocoa Puffs.
Unleash the Typhoon. The Typhoon hovercraft blasts over the ground on a cushion of air. You command it by radio control. Typhoon runs on land and water. Typhoon and Mini Typhoon, the only 9.6D radio control hovercrafts in the world from Tyco.
Start it up. We're fruit juice. Introducing new Starburst California fruit chews. 4 mouth-watering flavors like strawberry watermelon and Malibu punch. Starburst, starts up fruit juice.
A new discotheque, exclusive for you and the person of your dreams, in the elegant suites of Executive Airport Hotel. Decorated in the styles of many countries, with a charming pool in every suite, private garage, and heart-shaped whirlpools. The ultimate fantasy in Florida, Executive Champagne Glass Whirlpool, and a 3 split-level suite for an unforgettable honeymoon. 6 acres with plenty of fantasy and privacy. Executive Airport Hotel, the best for you.
Look who's at McDonald's.
There's a cheeseburger here with my name on it.
It's Garfield Days at McDonald's. Now when you get your kids McDonald's Happy Meal,
Here, cheeseburger.
they'll get one of 4 exclusive Garfield push toys.
I'm so adorable, it's scary.
There's Garfield on a scooter, a skateboard,
Cheeseburger.
a 4-wheeler, even a motor scooter.
Garfield, would you watch my cheeseburger, please?
Trust me.
So hurry, Garfield Days won't last forever. McDonald's Garfield Happy Meal. Collect all 4.
Let's not mince words. Pile Driver, the wrestling album 2 is a pulverizing smash. It feels. For the total WWF experience, you need Pile Driver, the wrestling album 2. There's no match for Pile Driver. Buy it on Epic Records and cassettes.
Captain Color Time was on routine patrol when suddenly he spotted another black and white existence.
Oh, what's on the TV tonight?
Your bowling trophy.
Again?
Who are you?
I'm Captain Color Time, here to add a little color time to your life. Wow.
TV.
Stereo.
VCR.
It's just that easy when you rent to own from Color Time.
Christmas special. First month half price. Call today.
Baby head Enterprise, baby head Enterprise. She can do a headstand right before your eyes.
Just like me.
Baby head Enterprise has her feet in the air. She can do a headstand anywhere. Right side up, upside down. She's the cutest baby around. She can sit, do a sit, even tumble out of it. Baby head Enterprise, baby head Enterprise.
I love you, baby heads.
Baby head Enterprise.
Humpy's Creature's double backbone is faster than a warp speed missile. The bug-eater vapor shield annihilates the evil swarm. Mudslinger wheels go anywhere.
Ride Huppy Screecher.
It's Dream Phone, the electronic game with the talking phone.
He's not wearing a hat.
Call guys, get clues, figure out which guy really likes you. It's Dan!
I really like you.
Yes! Dream Phone, the hot electronic talking phone game.
It's for you.
You're watching Snick. Now back to all that.
What does it take to be New York's movie station? It takes nothing but the best. The main movies on Channel 11. New York's movie station.
The Goonies will continue following these messages.
My mouth has a terrible time waking up in the mornings. Come on. You know why? Most cereals bore it to sleep. Come on. Want to see it come alive? Watch. Quaker Natural Cereal. My mouth gets a charge of whole grains, honey, almonds, raisins, a bunch of different textures, a blast of different tastes. That's reveille, man. My mouth will never get back to sleep. Once you taste Quaker Natural, everything else is just cornflakes.
I wish there was something the family could watch together. There is. Who's that? Your fairy godmother. Watch.
For a limited time, you can buy Walt Disney's Cinderella on video cassette. And to celebrate, Crest Toothpaste is having a special offer.
Remember these little guys? Chuck and Gus.
How about her?
Ooh, this was your favorite part.
And when you buy Cinderella and 2 Crests, you get $3 back by mail.
They'll love it. Mommy, who are you talking to?
When the stars come out to play, babe, a twinkling show, ooh, dinner out of sight. Yeah, the night time is going like time. Dinner at McDonald's. It's your time. It's night tonight.
Ain't it like a real life? Talking about real life.
Mom's homemade pie. Now. Cool Whip.
I want my Cool Whip.
There isn't a fresh homemade pie that doesn't hunger for the fresh homemade taste of Cool Whip. Cool Whip. One fresh homemade taste deserves another.
Time for Wrigley Spearmint Gum.
Wrigley Spearmint? What is Wrigley Spearmint?
Well, it's pure chewing satisfaction.
Data, please. Cool and refreshing. Chewing enjoyment goes on and on.
Analysis?
Wrigley Spearmint is pure chewing satisfaction.
Yeah. So how come you never talked to me before?
Wrigley Spearmint is pure chewing satisfaction.
What are people saying about the reunion of McDonald's Big Double Cheeseburger? Good grub. And new large French fries?
I love French food.
It's McDonald's Big Double Cheeseburger reunion.
That's nice.
And it's going on now.
Well, it's about time.
Everyone dreams of making it big, even raisins. And the big dream shared by every raisin is to be big enough for Post Raisin Bran. But for Post, only one kind of raisin is plump enough, sweet enough, big enough. It's the California raisins. Those super big superstars from the San Joaquin Valley. The only raisins big enough for the crispy flakes and Post Raisin Bran with the California raisins. Because big raisins make a big difference.
Okay, it's 2 a.m., and you're staring at that bag of Doritos tortilla chips, and you're asking yourself those middle-of-the-night questions like, did I get up just to eat these, or am I just eating these because I'm up? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. The point is Doritos are there, and so are you, and one of you ain't leaving until the other one's gone. Look, Cool Ranch Doritos are great, but they're not worth losing sleep over.
So if you want to get back to bed, do yourself a favor and crunch all you want. We'll make more tomorrow.
At Walt Disney World, there's a special land of fun in the Magic Kingdom, Mickey's Birthday Land.
Come on, Jimmy. Here we go.
Now at McDonald's, you can share in the magic, because when you buy your kids McDonald's Mickey's Birthday Land Happy Meal, they'll get one of 5 exclusive pullback racers. Mickey in his roadster, Minnie in her convertible, Goofy in his sports car, Pluto in his runabout, and Donald in his locomotive. McDonald's Mickey's Birthday Land Happy Meal, only at McDonald's.
See you real soon.
Professor Wayne Zielinski could use a good shrink. Instead, his kids got one.
We're all the size of boogers.
I shrunk the kids.
What? And now you can get a hold of the action, hang on to the fun, and feel the excitement when you own...
Dad, don't eat me!
Disney's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, now on video cassette. And on the same tape, you'll also get Tummy Trouble starring Roger Rabbit. It's two hilarious hits in one. For just $19.99 after a $3 mail-in refund, go out and get a good shrink.
Tonight, a body found along the banks of the Arkansas side of the mighty Mississippi River. Thank you so much for joining us on Action News 5 at 10. I'm Kelly Cook. That body has not been identified yet, but Memphis police confirmed they are working with Crittenden County deputies on this investigation. We're going to take you straight to our Walter Murphy, who is live along the river with the very latest details. Walter.
Well, Kelly, as you know, I was already down by the river this afternoon working on a different story about how low those river levels have gotten recently when we started to get those calls into our newsroom that a body was found in the river. Now, we confirmed that information with the Memphis Police Department around 5:30 this afternoon, but the Memphis Police Department would only confirm that they were working with the Crittenden County Sheriff's deputies about that investigation into the body that was found on the Arkansas side of the Mississippi River. Now, this is the scene that we saw when we arrived there this afternoon. At that point, MPD had already left the scene, but you can see the Crittenden County deputies working behind the yellow tape, going up and down a small path to the banks of the river. Now, no agency has identified who the body belonged to yet, but the discovery comes just 2 weeks after 21-year-old Tamia Taylor was last seen on a riverboat cruise that she was on for her birthday. Now, I talked with Tamia's mother tonight about the discovery of this body. She tells me that she's asking for prayers right now and respect.
You can't identify something that you don't know. So whether it's my daughter or if it's someone else, let's be respectful. Let's continue to pray for me and my family as well as whoever this person may be that is being identified, because their family is going to be needing prayer as well.
Again, that body that was found this afternoon has not been identified yet, but Deborah Taylor says that she's been in constant contact with the Memphis Police Department throughout the search for her daughter, Tamia, and she says that she's very grateful to them and to all of you for the continued search, and she does thank you in advance for your prayers as the days go on. We'll be keeping you updated both on air and online as more information comes into our newsroom. But for now, reporting live downtown tonight, I'm Walter Murphy, Action News 5.
Welcome, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Yeah, very, very sad news. We're just going to get right into that. Very sad news about Tamia Taylor. It actually, that's a news report from last night. I could not find an actual video news report that's updated, but yes, as of at least an hour ago, that body was identified as Tamia Taylor or Tamia Taylor. Now, I'll go ahead and read this article, which is, I believe, 45 minutes old. Says the Crittenden County Sheriff's Office confirmed that the body of a woman who was recovered from the Mississippi River over the weekend was missing mother Tamia Taylor. Her body was recovered on the Arkansas side of the Mississippi River Saturday afternoon, and originally discovered south of West Memphis across the President's Island. According to the Memphis Police Department, no foul play was involved in Taylor's death. No further details have been released. Taylor was reported missing on September 10th after she disappeared while celebrating her 21st birthday on a Memphis riverboat cruise with 3 friends. According to the police report obtained by WREG News 3, her mother told officers she received text messages from Taylor that night before she was reported missing, saying she made it to Memphis and was on the boat. When the boat docked around 1:30 a.m., her friends said Taylor was nowhere to be found. The riverboat company said Taylor made it back to the harbor in Memphis. So now, if you remember, we talked about this when it was a fresh case. Yeah, it's just very sad. And according, what I was going to talk about before I saw this, because I didn't know until just before the live stream started that her body was actually identified, that was confirmed to be Tamia. Yeah, because apparently what they did was they took some DNA from her mother, and in order to indisputably identify the body, because you have to understand, and sorry to get a little graphic here, but you got to consider this is one of the hottest summers Tennessee has ever seen. 2 weeks ago, I mean, it was in the 90s. So this body was missing for nearly 2 weeks, and or this woman was missing for nearly 2 weeks, and so the decomposition, I would imagine, I'm not a mortician or anything of that nature, or a medical examiner, but I would assume that there's a lot of decomposition that took place, which would have made it very difficult to have to identify her visually, or be able to identify her visually. So it's very, very sad news for this family. I think I was hearing a lot of things, because the thing is, cases like this, because as we were going over it, there was no reason to believe there was foul play in any way, shape, or form. But it was also kind of hard to believe. I mean, we were just looking at the possibilities of her falling over, but since there's no foul play involved, well, then it just looks like she fell over. I if I had to guess, I would say it was off of the front or off of the bottom deck. There were 3 levels. If I had to guess, I'd say it was off of the bottom deck. Yeah, I mean, she's 21, she's partying, and who knows what happened? Who knows? She got up to go to the bathroom. Apparently, her phone was found outside of the bathroom. That looks suspicious. But, I mean, we saw her wearing, little shorts, which is totally fine. My point being is, if she has her phone on her and she's wearing these little shorts and she's dancing and she's twerking, I mean, she might lose the phone. Very easy to lose a phone. A lot of people lose phones like this, especially women who are wearing something that may not really have pockets. And I've seen women stick their phones in their bra strap. I've seen them stick their phones in their waistband because they just don't have, the practical utilities that a man's clothing normally has, which is like pockets in the front or pockets in the back, or or deep pockets in it. These things just happen. So just because these things look suspicious doesn't necessarily mean that they are. I feel bad because the friends were getting so much heat. Her coworkers were getting so much heat from from I watched an interview with her cousin who turned out to be also an activist. There's a lot of shade being thrown at these friends, and dare I say, this is not I don't think it's fair to throw any shade at them at all. If I'm being completely honest, this is a 21-year-old woman. Now I realize to a lot of us that's still a kid, but by law, she's old enough to drink legally. So, does it make her a bit of a novice as far as drinking? Most likely. At least legally speaking, yes. So I don't think, you got young people, nobody's responsible for her but her. And you got to remember, these friends of hers looked for her. They called the police when they couldn't find her. They did everything that they were supposed to do. When I was 21, yeah, and I know she's a mom. It's very sad. But, and all the more reason why she should be allowed to go out and cut loose on her 21st birthday. And, 21 years old, I remember being 21. I remember partying with my friends at 21. And, the way it was, and now I don't really know how much it is really for women. That's still a big mystery to men. But for men at 21 or boys at 21, the idea was the goal, the ideal night at 21 was go out, get turned, be social, get laid. That means eventually, like, if one of my friends disappeared at the end of the night, I'm like, well, must have hooked up with somebody, probably hooked up with somebody, I'm sure I'll see them. And even if they lost their phone, I'd be like, okay. Well, at least I got their phone. So, I'll just get it to them next time I see them. But you just assume that that's what happens because that's what 21-year-old people do. It's and even still, they didn't assume this. They didn't assume this. They still called the police. They looked all over the boat and then contacted law enforcement to report her missing. So I don't think I don't think that it's really fair to say anything about these young people who went out with her and had a good time, because they really did everything that they were supposed to do or expected to do when they can't find their friend. The last thing I'm doing in a situation like that is really getting worried. I mean, I guess because it's on a boat, it's a little different, but I would still think the last thing that I would be thinking is she fell off the side. That's going to be one of the last things I'm thinking of. I'm going to assume she met somebody, or met up with some other friends maybe, or something, I mean, most of us, I guess I just grew up in a circle, of friends where like there were different branches of friends. You know what I mean? Where like I might show up to a place with 3 or 4 of these friends, and then I happen to run into 3 or 4 other friends that I haven't seen in a long time. One thing leads to another, and then we end up leaving and going and hanging out and hitting another bar or something. It happened all the time. So to me, it was just not suspicious. Their behavior to me was just not suspicious. So I feel really bad for them. And I as much as my heart, obviously it goes without saying, my heart goes out to her mom. My heart goes out to her entire family, especially her young child. But my heart also goes out to these friends of hers who who are being held responsible for her in some way when they're not responsible. I think that they did everything that was within their power and within the interests of tact to behave and handle that when they did. I don't think that they did anything wrong. So, or at least there's nothing that to tell us that they did. So, now, so I'm really hoping, that now, now that this family got some closure, that they'll get some peace. Now, before I move on, I would be remiss if I didn't say that I think it's absolutely ridiculous that in the year 2023, we don't have cameras on a cruise that goes out into the middle of the Mississippi, kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's no lights out there. There should be cameras all over that. Why were there no cameras on that little riverboat? Because I mean, it seems crazy. It seems absolutely crazy that they wouldn't have that, even just for insurance purposes. Why wouldn't they have that just to protect themselves from liability? It seems ridiculous because what I'm thinking is that why, I mean, okay, I don't know how much they charge. Got a moth in here. I don't know how much they charge per head, right? But you figure, of course there's expenses for the boat, right? You have your hard and soft drinks, you have your food, you have just the basic stuff just to even get out on the water, you have your maintenance for the boat, you have your just the power to run the boat. So you have these basic expenses that already are out, but I find it hard to believe that this company is not making profit hand over fist just because like these people show up. I mean, they're just heads, man. You know what I mean? They're just heads. They're just showing up. They're not really consuming anything, and they're not consuming anything that you're already not charging them for, and they're not consuming anything that they're not paying for if they're charging per drink on the cruise, right? So they're making profit hand over fist, and a camera system's just going to cost you a couple of grand. You're making that in profit over and over and over again each night. These are 2-hour trips each time. Every time we saw this boat, it was packed with people. So I'm really curious because I would imagine that you're charging probably a good easy 30 to 40 bucks a person, easy. And I'm being nice, but I'm guessing easy 30 to 40 bucks a head to just get on this thing. So, I mean, with all the profit they're making, why wouldn't they have just a couple of $1,000s on a camera system? And cameras go out all the time. The maintenance on them are a bitch. Like how many times have we followed a case, and been like, well, sure, of course the camera's not working. Cameras are down. Cameras were down on that day. And it's like, but it happens all the time. I mean, every place I've ever worked, it happens. Any place I've ever worked that had cameras are like, oh, the cameras aren't working today. Happens all the time. So I get that there's maintenance involved in that, but the bottom line is it protects you. It absolutely protects you. And now what's going to end up happening is I guarantee you that Tamaya's family, sorry, got distracted there. Tamaya's family is probably going to take litigation against this company, and I wouldn't blame them. And I think that they actually have the right to do it. I mean, I don't think it's wrong that somebody should be held accountable for having absolutely no answers as to what happened. I mean, it's very simple. She was on the boat and then she wasn't. And then everybody was just like, well, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if I'm that girl's family, I don't want to take that for an answer. I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? Like you better come up with something better than that. What do you mean you don't know? So I really would not blame them if they, felt like somebody should be held accountable. Maybe not for the actual tragedy itself, but the tragedy that it took 2 weeks to figure out what happened. The tragedy that there were no answers as to what happened when it happened on that boat. And people should feel safe on these things. Because that sends a message. It sends a message that you could easily just fall over the side of this thing and nobody's going to know where the hell you are or have any idea how to look for you or anything. And if your family's lucky, then they'll find you floating up in the river somewhere downstream. And that's exactly what happened. So, I mean, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. Like when you think about that, that beats me. I mean, she was here and then she wasn't here. Like I don't want to hear that shit. That doesn't happen on any other vessel that you pay money to go on. It doesn't happen on airplanes. It doesn't happen on cruise ships. It doesn't happen on buses. Dude, on a city bus, there's cameras. Think about that. On a city bus, there's cameras. You know what I mean? Trains. Right. And nobody saw anything. Nobody saw anything, heard anything. And we don't know the extent of her injuries. We have no idea what the extent of her injuries were. So, I mean, right, exactly, Cherry. There's cameras everywhere except that boat. Like, why? That's the reason why there's idiots out there that go, there must have been foul play. And the somebody on the boat is somebody who works on the boat is responsible and the boat's covering it up. Like, no, it's just sheer negligence. Why don't they have cameras? Like, it's such a stupid thing to not have in this day and age that it's going to make people go, well, that's totally suspicious. And when it's not, it's just a cheap company wanting to turn a profit and just plain greedy and cheap. That's it. That's what it boils down to. Bermuda Triangle of cameras. So now what I'm going to do tonight, moving on, we're going to discuss, Dr. McDreamy, 100%. I absolutely agree with that statement. If there's alcohol being served on open water, there should be cameras. Absolutely. There should be cameras. Absolutely 100%. There should be cameras. Like, so, there is the case of Officer John O'Keefe, and this is a controversial one. I still don't know where I'm at on this, man. So this is what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explore the timeline with you guys. I'm going to form my opinion here on like live streams. Every time that I go over this case, it will be on a live stream. Because I want to catch up to everyone else, because there is a lot of information out there. There is a lot of documentation. There's just a lot going on. And I'm not 100% ready to say, I don't have enough information for me to say that there is a conspiracy and that Karen Reed is being framed. I don't have enough information to make that sort of accusation, but I'm also the innocent until proven guilty type, because the thing is, especially in this case, because her defense is coming up with a lot of reasonable doubt, So, it's tricky. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over some of this now. Cherry, guys, give a big shout out to Cherry, man, because Cherry put together this timeline for me. I said it many times. I wouldn't be able to find my socks without her. She's amazing. But Cherry put together this timeline for me, and it's very detailed. So approximately 1 week before John's death, okay, his niece said that he and Karen had a fight, and that she, quote, heard the victim tell the defendant that their relationship had run its course and that it isn't healthy. So basically, John's niece is saying that he told that he told Karen that the relationship had run its course and it's just not a healthy relationship anymore. And Cherry, welcome to Logic. Cherry, what are you doing? Okay, but thank you. Amazing. But I appreciate it. I love you, Cherry. So then fast forward to January 28th, which is the night in question. Now, there's January 29th. We're talking about the early morning hours. So whenever you hear that this case and this death took place on January 29th, January 29th, 2021 is when the actual death took place. But it's really kind of technically the night of the 28th. You guys get what I'm saying. Get Cherry's gift and memberships. Look at that. Scarlet Summer, Meep, Cannoli Roly, McRamney, The Real Sunflower, Team Brittany, Lady Beck, Louise Davidson, and Kat. Right on. Thank you, Cherry. Now, so 737, and this is all based on surveillance, security cameras at this bar, C.R. McCarthy's in Canton, Massachusetts. Now, at 7:37, O'Keefe was seen on surveillance arriving at C.R. McCarthy's in Canton. At 8:51 p.m., Reed is seen arriving at McCarthy's. So they took separate vehicles and they meet up at this bar. At 8:58 p.m., the bartender hands Karen Reed a glass containing clear liquid with a lime in it. If I had to guess, I'd say it was probably a vodka tonic or just a vodka on the rocks. Sorry. Oh my God. That totally reminds me of movie Roadhouse. If you guys ever seen that movie, this is totally off the subject. It has nothing to do with anything, but whenever I hear vodka rocks, I think of that line where the blonde girl at the beginning of the movie goes, "Yeah, let me get a vodka rocks," and then this really weird looking creepy dude is like, "Hey, vodka rocks. What do you say you and me get nipple to nipple?" I can do that by myself. I could watch that movie a million fucking times. That is the funniest fucking movie ever, bro. Grandmaster Sid Sophos. Oh no, dude. No, what are you doing, bro?
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Grandmaster Sid Sophos. Thank you, buddy. Cherry, the South London girl, isn't it? Oh, thank you, man. All right, let me get back to this timeline. So she orders a vodka rocks, I guess, or vodka with, or vodka tonic, probably. And if I had to guess, for all we know, it could have been a club soda with a lime. I mean, I'm just assuming they're in a bar, and so the bartender hands Reed another glass at 9:15. Okay, so 15 minutes later, bartender hands her another glass. 9:20, 5 minutes later, bartender hands Reed another glass. 9:33, that would be 13 minutes after that drink. Bartender hands Reed another glass. Okay, then 9:57, bartender hands Reed another glass and a shot glass with clear liquid in it. If I had to guess, that would probably be a shot of either vodka or Patron. If I had to guess, I don't know. 10:22 p.m. Bartender hands Reed another glass. Karen's thirsty. Okay. 10:40 p.m. Video shows Reed and O'Keefe leaving the bar. Reed is seen holding her latest drink in her right hand as they exit. Okay, so she's leaving with drinks. Interesting. So, and guys, as I'm reading this, I can't see chat unless I look down at my phone. So if I miss anything, I apologize. Oh, did you? Yeah, everybody. Why is that a thing all of a sudden? Like I'm getting a bunch of new like subs and views on that, and I don't know why all of a sudden. I mean, that case is so closed. So like, why all of a sudden am I getting all this attention from that video? I mean, I'm glad, don't get me wrong. I'm just curious as to why all of a sudden it's become so popular, but welcome. But yeah, just so you guys know, I can't really see chat. So, well, stick around, Kaylin, because this is kind of what we do here. So at 10:22, wow, okay. She's okay. So at 10:40, video shows Reed and O'Keefe leaving the bar. Reed is seen holding her latest drink in her right hand as they exit. At 10:54, O'Keefe and Reed seen on video arriving at Waterfall Bar and Grill in Canton together. Okay. All right. So it's now technically the 29th. And at 12:10 a.m., Reed exits the establishment, exits to establishment with two women through the front door. O'Keefe exits moments later after taking a sip from his glass and carrying the drink out on his right hand. I mean, yeah, dude, like, that's wild. Okay. So did they, is this a typo, Cherry? Did they exit to the establishment? Or exits the establishment through the front door? That's what I think is going on. I mean, because what there's over an hour to be accounted for here. So I'm assuming they were in the bar for an hour. The second bar, the waterfall bar. So the second bar for an hour, and I think that's just a typo. Reed exits the establishment with two women through the front door. O'Keefe exits moments later, after taking a sip from his glass and carrying the drink out in his right hand. So these people are just like, we do what we want. We just take the drinks home. We don't give a shit. And then at 12:11, video shows O'Keefe carrying the glass and meeting up with Reed. The two walk together towards Washington Street. 12:14, O'Keefe sends a text asking a friend where to. He receives a text with an address on Fairview Road from Jennifer McCabe. Okay, this is where things start to get interesting. So 12:15, the vehicle consistent with Reed's SUV is seen on video traveling past Canton Town Library. All right. And at 12:17, a large black SUV is seen on video traveling past Temple Beth Abraham toward intersection of Washington and Dedham Street. 12:31 a.m., Jessica McCabe sends O'Keefe a text message saying hello. This is interesting. 12:40, McCabe sends another text saying, pull up behind me, referencing her vehicle in the driveway. She said that she watched the black SUV move from its initial place where it had stopped near the driveway to the far left-hand side of the property near a flagpole and a fire hydrant where the body was eventually found. Okay, hold on a second. I got to reread something here. Okay, but whose car? Okay, so when they were walking down Washington Street, because this isn't too clear, when they were walking together down Washington Street together, I guess did they enter Reed's car, Karen Reed's SUV together? Did they arrive in the same car because that's I was always under the impression that they arrived together at the Fairview Drive house in her vehicle. Okay, so they left his vehicle at the other bar. All right. That's what I was hazy on. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys in chat. Okay. So Jessica McCabe sends O'Keefe a text message saying hello. McCabe sends another text saying pull up behind me, referencing her vehicle in the driveway. She said that she watched the black SUV move from its initial place where it stopped near the driveway to the far left-hand side of the property near a flagpole and a fire hydrant where the body was eventually found. She sends another message saying hello and then observed the black SUV drive away. Okay. Between 1:30 and 2 a.m., another guest at the Fairview Road home gets a ride home and indicated that she thought she saw something she described as a dark object in the snow by the flagpole, but could not determine what it was. At 4:53 a.m., Jessica McCabe receives a call from Reed that she is looking for O'Keefe and instructed O'Keefe's niece to place a call. She tells Reed that she last saw O'Keefe at the Waterfall Bar and Grill and saw them leave together. Okay. 5 a.m., Reed calls a second friend, stating that O'Keefe did not come home and she was worried. According to the prosecution, Reed also told her, I wonder if she's dead. It's snowing. He got hit by a plow. Wow. Okay. So I'm still stuck on this 453 part. Jessica McCabe receives a call from Reed that she's looking for John and instructed John's niece to place a call. She tells Reed that she last saw Keith at the Waterfall Bar and Grill and saw them leave together. Okay. So, okay. So Reed calls. So that's what she's saying is the last time I saw John, he was with you at the waterfall. That's the last time I saw him. So this is where she's claiming that she never actually saw that he never came into the house, that they were invited, but the last time she saw him was then. But Karen had John's niece call Jen McCabe because she didn't have her number. Okay. So Karen never actually spoke to Jen McCabe. Right. They were texting, but she never saw them. According to according to Jessica McCabe, unless it's supposed to be Jennifer, then hold on. Now I'm confused. Oh, okay. So there was, I mean, there is no Jennifer McCabe, unless I'm like tripping. Okay, so Jessica McCabe the entire time receives a call from Reed that she is looking for O'Keefe and instructed O'Keefe's niece to place a call. Right. So this is the part where Jessica claims, this is the part where she claims I never saw him. I was texting with him saying, hey, come on over, which actually fits into the prosecution's timeline where he was on the way there because apparently it happened. Apparently, according to the prosecution, he was struck by her car, by Karen's car in the McCabe driveway on Fairview Road. So, okay. All right. So it is Jennifer. I thought it was Jennifer. Damn it, Cherry. Cherry just got confused. That's all. Give her a break. She works hard. I confuse Jennifer and Jessica all the time. So there is no Jessica. It's Jennifer. It's Jennifer McCabe. Okay. Yeah, you wrote Jessica, Cherry. A lot. It's okay. That's a minor detail. Like everything else is good here so far. Like you are amazing in every other way that you fucking wrote this thing out. No, it's all good. It's all good. So Jennifer McCabe. All right. So Reed calls a second friend. Karen calls a second friend stating that John did not come home and she was worried. According to the prosecution, Reed also told her, I wonder if he's dead. It's snowing. He got hit by a plow. Now, this is interesting right here because that right there seems incredibly damning for the defense. It seems incredibly damning for the defense. It seems like that is like something that the prosecution can just that's just gonna burn the defense, right? Not burn it up, but just gotcha. That's what it feels like because that's a hell of a statement. But let's explore that for a second. Sleuthy Goosey, welcome. Right. Sleuthy Goosey, someone mentioned that you had a really good timeline as well. I'd like to explore that as well, but welcome. So now, those of you familiar with the case, if you just joined us, understand that some of us here, including myself, we're novices here, man, on this case. We're just learning about it. But I think it's interesting to actually explore these things on a live stream and share information with you guys, you know, and get your reactions and learn from you guys as well. I like to do that. I enjoy the interaction as I'm learning about a case. It's how I've always done things, and it's not for everybody, but it's the way I like to do things, and I do like to be thorough. I do like to know as much about these cases as I can. Yeah, Cherry, could you please share my email in the chat for Sleuthy Goosey? I would really appreciate it. And Sleuthy Goosey, also share your Twitter handle as well, please, so I can follow you on Twitter. So now I know a lot of you already have opinions. You guys, there are some of you who feel like there's no conspiracy, that is absolutely insane to sit here and accuse a bunch of cops of something as crazy as this. And there's other people who absolutely feel like there is a major conspiracy here and an innocent woman is being thrown under the bus and being framed. I get both points. So far, I'm getting both points. I really am. I have not made my own decision here. I have not made my own opinion yet, but I want to be able to go through this stuff with you guys live, react to certain facts until I reach my own opinion. And this way you guys can know when I actually form these opinions. I like to do that with my audience. So, so this is fascinating. So, now that's what I was going to go over. So if prosecution claims that Reed told her, I wonder if he's dead. It's snowing. He got hit by a plow. Now, what's the context? Right? It's snowing. What if there was a plow and he got hit? What if she's saying that in a question form? Because it seems damning to say it just outright like that, to sit here and go, he's dead, he got hit by a plow, you know, or, I mean, he's dead, you got hit by a plow, like what happened? How much are they leaving certain things out? Are they leaving certain things out? Is the prosecution leaving certain things out in order to make their case against Karen Reed stronger? Now, that has not been unknown to happen. And defense does the same thing. I'm not saying necessarily in this case. I'm saying it's the defense's job to do things. It's the defense. It's each side's job to twist their narrative as much as they can to make their case. But there's more pressure on the prosecution to not be able to do this simply because it's on them to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Beyond a reasonable doubt. That means there can be no doubt. That means if they come to me with this, if I'm on the jury and they say, okay, well, Karen Reed absolutely said these words, we have them right here. And then I'm the defense and I go, well, I mean, what's the exact context there? I mean, can we see the text messages leading up to that and the ones right after? Is there could she have said that in a question form because she was trying to imagine what possibly happened? Maybe she wasn't jumping to the conclusion immediately that someone beat the hell out of them and left them in their front yard. Because why would they do that? You know? Like, if I'm the defense, it's my job to create doubt, right? So why wouldn't I counter that and then just start questioning the context of it? I'd be like, that's not proof. Because it's not. It sounds like it's proof, but it's pretty easy to create doubt. Because you're getting some sort of hearsay. Now, I'm sure if this person who spoke to her, this friend who spoke to Karen Reed, she's going to be able to sit on the stand. They're going to call her on the stand. They're going to make her testify, and they're going to run her through her testimony before they even sit her up there. And they're going to prep her. They're going to prepare her. So I'm absolutely, I can absolutely imagine them being like, hey, you know, this is what, and the defense is going to do this and the defense is going to do that. So the prosecution is probably just going to go, did you feel like she was asking a question? Did she definitively say these things as if she was sure that this is what happened to John O'Keefe? That she was sure that he was dead and that he was hit by a plow. He would have to word it like that while she's on the stand. He would have to leave no room for any doubt for that shit to be any type of evidence and for a jury to be absolutely convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. That's what he would have to do. So I find that very, very interesting. But we see these things on paper and then we hear them out loud in a testimony in court. So, so at 5:11 a.m., library surveillance video captured a large black SUV turning into Washington Street toward the waterfall. At 5:15 a.m., the same camera captures the SUV traveling in the opposite direction toward the temple. At 5:18 a.m., a camera at the temple captures the SUV passing by. At 5:30 a.m., Reed and a friend arrive at the home of Jennifer McCabe, where she is described as hysterical, quote unquote. One of the women drove Reed back to O'Keefe's house, while the other followed in her own vehicle. Huh. Okay. During the drive, she told investigators that Reed said, "Could I have hit him? Did I hit him?" and told her about the cracked taillight on the black SUV. At O'Keefe's house, Reed showed the other woman the cracked taillight. All three women got into the same car and went to look for O'Keefe. The friend who was driving said it was snowing heavily with poor visibility when they arrived, but noted that Reed immediately said she saw the victim when the other women could not see him in the snow. Huh. 6:04 a.m. 911 call from a woman reporting a man later identified as O'Keefe was found in the snow. The first Canton police officer to arrive saw three women waving at him from the front yard near the flagpole and the fire hydrant. Two of the women were reporting or were performing CPR on the victim. The officer observed the victim was cold to the touch and was not breathing. Footage from the officer's cruiser cam shows dark blizzard conditions. A Canton firefighter who responded to the 911 call said he witnessed Reed telling her friend repeatedly, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him." Oh man, yikes. Okay. Yeah, that's now again, could she have been saying, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him"? Or what she was saying, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him" in a panic, because she was afraid that she had hit him. I mean, but why? Why would she? The question is, why would she say, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him," after deciding that she was going to, I mean, if she knew she hit him, right? This is what doesn't make sense to me. If she knew she hit him and then she left, but yet, I mean, if she knew she hit him and then she left, I mean, why admit to it? Why panic and start saying that she hit him? You know what I mean? Why panic and say that? If she had already drove away and decided, you know what? I didn't do it. You know? Like, why come back and put on this show in front of all of his friends and in front of EMTs and firefighters? It doesn't add up. But I find I find the coming and going in different directions after the alleged accident, because I don't believe she deliberately hit him with. I don't believe that she deliberately hit him with the car. That I don't believe. I believe that if she did hit him with the car, and I'll tell you that right now, I believe if she did hit him with the car, she was it was an accident, and she was worried about getting a DUI and a manslaughter charge or whatever she was going to get. But now she's getting a second-degree murder charge, which seems excessive, because I don't believe it to have been deliberate. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that it was deliberate or premeditated or in the heat of anger, and then she's flipping out and confessing to the entire world what she did. It just makes no sense. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But I'm not convinced. Sorry, I am looking at chat right now. I mean, but now again, I'm looking at this case with fresh eyes, and this is very new to me, this case. If this was a conspiracy, if he was beaten to death by his own comrades, then what's the motive? Why did they do it? For what? What is the motive? Because there's motive already being established for against Karen Reed, that he told her a year or a week prior to all of this happening, he supposedly told her, according to his niece, that the relationship was over, it wasn't going anywhere, and it's time to just got in a fight over what though, Mama Bear? That's too weak. That's weak. You know what I mean? Again, yeah, I saw better pictures of that, and that's what I don't understand. Hold on, before I continue with this timeline, let me see something here. Terry, where are those pictures of John O'Keefe's arm? I found it. Never mind. Yeah, see, these are much better pictures than the one that they had on a big cardboard display during that hearing that took place 6 weeks ago. Yeah, there we go. All right, can you guys see that? Yeah, there we go. This is much. You see that? Now, before I was like, it doesn't look like dog bites. That looks like dog bites to me. But why didn't the defense use this photograph when they were trying to prove that it was a dog attack? When I saw this photograph, I was like, what is the defense doing? Why wouldn't they use this photograph when I was sitting there and I'm looking at the photograph that they used in that hearing, and it just looks like it could be scratches, lacerations, but this looks a lot more like a dog attack or an animal attack than the pictures that we were comparing the last time that we went over this case. Right or wrong? And you could tell it's the same arm. They just didn't have this part on the elbow. But that's exactly where a dog, like, let me see. This right here is exactly where a dog would grab at you. If you are in this mode right here, trying to cover your face, to cover your attack, I mean, I mean, who knows how you could get these injuries from a car, you know? Now, listen, guys, I'm still not. The thing is I have to look at all the facts. Again, I don't see a motive as to why this. No, that's not. Those are not knife wounds. I don't see how. I'm going to leave this up here as I read this stuff, but I don't see how. I don't. I see, like I said, a motive has been established for Karen Reed hitting him with the car. Scorned girlfriend doesn't want to get dumped. Got it. But, and I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that's what the prosecution is presenting. But I'm not seeing I'm not seeing a motive established as to why his own comrades, police officers, would viciously attack him, use their dog to attack him, and beat the shit out of him, leaving 2 black eyes. And I mean, the lacerations in the back of his head, multiple. Here we go. Yeah, Cherry says the injuries include marks on the right arm, 2-inch lacerations in the back of the head, 2 black eyes, and a multiple skull fracture. That does not make sense. I mean, Sleuthy Goosey, like, I feel what you're saying, but it happens a lot. Let's be honest. There are people who just simply can't handle rejection, and it's if I can't have you, nobody can kind of bullshit that these insecure dickheads end up going through, man or woman. Like it's usually a man. It's usually some narcissistic piece of shit dude who can't handle rejection, but it's, I mean, it happens a lot. See, that's okay. Nobody's disputing. I can see completely a fight starting and the guy's kicking his ass. Absolutely. Sure, that could happen. What's the motive for the fight? What is the reason for the fight? You got to do better than they got into a fight. For me to be convinced, you got to do better than that. You know what I mean? Belligerent, but something triggered. And why would Jennifer McCabe be part of this conspiracy? Googling about the dead body. Alcohol and testosterone, you got to do better than that for me too. You got to do better than that for me. Like a lot of there's I mean, I'm a guy and I got a temper, dude, but I don't go around beating the shit out of my friends when I get drunk. You know what I mean? Like, it's no secret to this community that I have a temper. But I'm not going around beating the shit out of my friends, sicking my dog on people when I get drunk. That's just crazy. And the whole everybody's conspiring to cover it up. And again, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying I want to know why it did, if it did. And why? Now, here's a little speculation, okay? Now, mind you guys, now here's some loose speculation, some pretty fast and loose speculation that I don't normally like to do. But let's just in the interest of entertaining the possibility, right? Just in the interest of entertaining the possibility that this is exactly what happened. That the dude sicked his dog on him, and that he and a couple of other of his buddies beat the shit out of the guy to death and left him out in the snow to freeze to death, right? So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that actually happened. Why would that happen? So maybe if Jennifer McCabe is the one that's texting him, right? Why is she the one that's in direct contact with him? If they're all cops, what's the relationship? What's the nature of the relationship between John O'Keefe and Jennifer McCabe? You see what I'm saying? So, like, why are they the ones in contact? Unless Albert McCabe is like, listen, fucking, I'm busy doing this. I'm shooting pool. Text him and let him know where to go. This is his number. You know, that's perfectly possible too. Hell, it's even more likely considering the facts that we have versus the facts that we don't. He could have just been like, dude, well, you know, you talk to him. Can you give him directions here? You knew better than to tell somebody. You're better at directions than I am. Because her daughter and his niece were friends. Okay. And she was like, come on over to this house. Okay. But I mean, could he have, could there have been, and again, this is just, you know, I'm just throwing shit out there, but I'm not saying that this is the case or I even believe it. I'm just trying to explore possibilities. So is it possible that since Karen and John were having problems, maybe he was possibly growing closer to Jennifer, unless she's married, or maybe if she is, you know, alcohol's being consumed a lot between all these people. I've seen this happen 100 times, you know? So, I mean, is it possible that there was something growing romantically, you know, or even just sexually between Jennifer and John? And then this might have pissed off Albert in some way. And Albert didn't like his family being fucked with like that. He's just protective of the females in his family. I mean, I'm just trying to think of what would make sense. But the thing is I can't even entertain that theory simply because Colin Albert is the connection. I can't even entertain that theory because I don't know anything about these people. I don't know anything about their personal lives, you know? I mean, all right, I'm going to continue with the timeline real quick here. All right, so at 7:50 a.m., O'Keefe is officially pronounced dead. At 9:08 a.m., Reed's blood is drawn at Good Samaritan Medical Center. A forensic toxicologist said it revealed her blood alcohol content was 0.07. Between 0.07 and 0.08, and opined that around the time of 12:45 a.m., her blood alcohol level would have been between 13% and 0.13 and 0.29, which is really high. And I mean, considering that she's on camera, here's the thing. At the very least, she should be charged with a DUI. I mean, at the very least. I mean, she's on camera drinking drink after drink, and then and they didn't even, we're talking about a cop here, and they didn't even designate a designated driver. You know, so they're both leaving the bar. They're seen leaving the bar on camera, holding their drinks. They're just like, fuck your glasses, we're taking them. Like, which is just very funny to me. And because I've known people like this, and usually the people who do this kind of shit are heavy drinkers. You know what I mean? Heavy drinkers. The people that are like, I'm taking my drink with me because I can't go 5 minutes until I get to the next bar without having a drink, because then I got to wait to get the next drink. I got to stand there at the bar and wait for the bartender to give me. I'm taking this drink with me. That's some alcoholic shit. So, yeah, you should feel attacked, Cherry. So then okay. Now it says here though, like, wait, what? All right. So later at 4:30 a.m., Massachusetts State Police troopers arrive at the home of Reed's parents and observed her black Lexus SUV parked outside the garage door with a shattered taillight. Okay. Also, January 29th, Reed's SUV is seized and taken to the Canton Police Department. 2 pieces of red plastic taillight and 1 piece of clear plastic taillight were found by Massachusetts State Police Special Emergency Response Team members who dug through the snow. Okay. Prosecutors said that the plastic was consistent with the broken pieces of Reed's SUV. O'Keefe's cell phone was analyzed by Massachusetts State Police. Their forensic extraction of call logs, voicemails, and text messages between the victim and the defendant, including the date of January 28th and 29th, detailed strains within their relationship and the victim's desire to end the relationship, and the defendant's description of their relationship with them and the 2 children together as toxic. Huh. Okay, but whose 2 kids are these? I mean, did they have kids together? Or did one of them have kids and and the other was just close with the other person's kids? Like, how did that work? Or did one have a kid and the other one had their own kid, and then they just kind of, because that happens a lot too. So who somebody explain to me the okay. So John's sisters who passed. Okay, so John's sister passed and he adopted her kids. Okay. All right, that makes sense. So these text messages apparently reveal that they have a toxic relationship and it's not healthy. That John felt that they had a toxic relationship and it was not healthy for the 2 children, which I imagine is already tough on him. Being a cop, he's probably got weird hours. And these kids have needs. These kids have certain special needs because they are emotionally damaged to a certain degree. I'm not saying that they're fucked up kids. I'm saying they're emotionally damaged because they lost both their parents. whatever the case, the father's case is, but they lost their mother. And so now they're living with their uncle, and he's adopted them and taken them in. So it's probably a difficult thing for him, a lot of pressure for him to be able to try to raise these kids right. And if he's got a toxic relationship with somebody, and I mean, but at the same time, and I don't want to say anything negative about John, and I don't like to say anything negative about someone who's no longer with us and is a victim of a crime. But you know, I mean, he's going out and he's contributing to this toxicity himself. I mean, if he's going out drinking and we're seeing him carrying out drinks on surveillance cameras too, and they're going bar hopping and there's no designated driver set, nothing, and you're a cop, that's some really irresponsible behavior. I mean, I know a guy who was a cop and he lost his job as a cop. He lost his job as a cop because he got a DUI. He got caught drinking and driving. And now, I mean, now he's got a decent job now, and he was able to get married since, and he's a homeowner. He's doing fine. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, that's the career path you choose. And now you're responsible for these two small kids. Then, you don't get to make bad decisions like that. You know what I mean? I mean, I get that he's the one acknowledging and going, "Hey, man, this is bad," but you just end it. I mean, you just end it. Just be like, "Look, we can't have this shit. Can't have this shit around these kids." And I imagine if he adopted them, he's probably got somebody checking up and making sure that the kids' well-being are intact. I would imagine so. So, I mean, I would imagine that catching a DUI is going to be a real bad look, and that's going to be a problem. Okay, hold on a second. All right. What is this? Oh. All right, so there's a GoFundMe for those kids. All right, now I'm not going to show this GoFundMe because it has pictures of the kids, which I don't agree with showing here. But wow, this fundraiser, this GoFundMe has raised $336,735. And it's no longer accepting donations. It's already done. It's closed. But I'm not seeing, let me see. All right. And it says here, Boston police officer John O'Keefe passed away tragically January 29th. Oh, I said 2021 earlier. I just realized that. 2022. John was devoted son, brother, uncle, godfather, cousin, friend. John was loved deeply by his family and was primarily devoted to and the guardian of his niece and nephew. He took custody of the children after their parents, Kristen and Stephen, both passed 2013 and 2014. Jesus, that's a lot. He was a Boston police officer for 16 years and will be sorely missed by all who were blessed to have known him. The funds raised will go directly to these children's future. So I mean, they're all set for college. It's what it looks like, thanks to some very caring people following this case. It's very, very nice. All right, so moving on to this thing now. I gotta say, man, uh that is heartbreaking. I gotta say, it's absolutely heartbreaking. Um, uh, Steve Moore, I promise you, I'm going to do a deep dive into Turtle Boy. Uh, I'm just going to do that a little later. This is all right now just about getting the available facts, and we're just going over the timeline right now. But I promise you, I will be doing a very, very deep dive into Turtle Boy's involvement in this case and everything that he's done. Um, I'm fascinated with this guy. Fascinated, 100%. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with him just yet. I have not collected enough information to make that to form that opinion just yet. I just simply have not done that yet. But I am fascinated with this guy's passion and what he's been doing and his ability to organize the way that he has been. Absolutely fascinated. So but yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta refresh my coffee here, guys. Yeah, and I know there's people that love him. I know there's people who don't love him so much. Uh I have no opinion on his character just yet, other than he's driven, he's passionate, and he seems to be very good at what he's doing. So whether or not I agree with him is up in the air, but I do respect his work ethic, man. I gotta give him that, to say the least. He's definitely invested in this, and I don't think he's doing it. Uh, I'm not getting the impression that he's doing it just to gain clout, or anything like that. I'm not getting that impression. We cover people like that. We've dedicated this channel to exposing people like that, and I've looked into him on my own a little bit, and I'm not getting that impression from him. I can smell tragedy pimps a mile away, and this guy is not it. Uh, I believe that at the very least, he very much believes in what he's doing. Um, all right, so January 31st, an autopsy is conducted by the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. The doctor opined that the extensive injuries to his head likely rendered Mr. O'Keefe incapacitated. The doctor further opined that upon viewing Mr. O'Keefe's injuries and the examination of his body, she observed no signs of Mr. O'Keefe being involved in any type of physical altercation or fight. That's going to be tough to disprove. I mean, you get this medical professional on the stand, it's going to be tough to get a jury to not take him as credible, or take her as credible, excuse me. February 1st, members of Massachusetts State Police Crime Scene Services section examine Reed's SUV and conduct tests, including a confirmation that the car's backup camera was functioning, and alerted the technicians when it was approaching a dummy. A forensic scientist also found human hair on the rear of the vehicle. Troopers reviewed surveillance footage from CF McCarthy's and Waterfalls Bar and Grill. Troopers obtained surveillance video from various Canton institutions, along with the routes traveled by individuals involved in the case. February 22nd, investigators interview O'Keefe's niece and nephew. Now, why would they do that? Why would they do that? That makes me wonder. It's like, take this for instance. When it comes to, let's say, the Summer Wells investigation, I absolutely have no doubt in my mind. As a matter of fact, I would feel uncomfortable if they did not somehow get professional forensic interviewers to forensically interview Summer Wells's brothers, because they were there. They were there the day that she disappeared. So it would make no sense for them to not perform at least one forensic interview per child to try to figure out what they could find out. But why the nieces and nephews? If they weren't the nieces and nephew, why if they weren't there, are they just trying to probe like the kind of relationship that they had? Is this just for the prosecution to have them say that that their relationship was toxic and that she had motive? Is it so that they can use these kids to try to establish motive against Karen Reed? Because I mean, if they're doing that, I mean, I get kind of building their case and making their case, but do you really need to do that? Is that necessary to put those kids through that after everything that they're going through? You're going to interview these children who weren't even there. Yes, it was after her arrest, I believe. Yes. February 22nd of this year. So that's troublesome. That to me is extremely troublesome. Can you watch what? The forensic interview with children? No. No. Yeah, I mean, sleuthy goosey. I'm with you on that. I think it's sleazy. I think it's a sleazy and unnecessary move. Those kids are traumatized. Isn't the whole point to get justice for these victims? And who more are affected by John O'Keefe's death than the two children that he was entrusted in caring for, because their parents were gone. Their parents have left this earth. And so imagine what they're going through having lost him too. Because if I was a kid, and this is what really makes me mad about this, because if I was a kid, the kind of kid that I was, I would be thinking, what's wrong with me? What did I do? Why does God hate me? Or why does God think that I'm not good enough to have people that love me in my life? I get close to these people and then God takes them away. What is wrong with me? Am I bad? I mean, what are you doing? Like, I could only imagine what they're going through. Yeah, using traumatized children as weapons. Lots of people do it. It's gross as fuck. I mean, that's what's making me doubt the prosecution. This should be an open and shut case. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. And this is why I don't blame people for feeling like there is a conspiracy here, because the tactics seem shady. There is a vibe of shady tactics going on here. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be, and I find it very strange because, the defense is claiming that the prosecution is withholding all kinds of evidence. that could absolutely exonerate their client. Why are we seeing more cause for proof coming from the defense than we are the prosecution? Isn't it the prosecution's job to come up with reasons to come up with a case, to prove a case beyond a reasonable doubt? But the thing is, man, I don't know all of the defense's case, but they seem to be doing a lot of work, bringing forth a lot of evidence. And maybe she just has a dope ass O.J. Simpson style defense team. You know what I mean? Maybe she's just got that kind of defense team. It's possible. But if the defense's job is simply to create doubt, man, I'm seeing them creating a lot of doubt. Because here I am. If I'm on the jury, it doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter what I believe. I could sit here and I could believe the prosecution all day and all night. But with what I know that the defense is already bringing to the table in order to create doubt in my mind, they have succeeded. I already doubt the prosecution's case. Just enough to go, oh, I don't know. That's all it takes. For one juror to go, ooh, yeah, I don't know about that. I can't, I mean, this is somebody's life, you know? You expect me to throw this person in prison for the rest of their life when I'm sitting here going, that's kind of weird. No, your job as the prosecution is to make me, the juror, go, yeah, that motherfucker did it. No doubt in my mind. No doubt. So this is the thing, is even if I end up believing, because I don't even know where I'm going to be at yet, but even if I'm to the point to where I'm like, the prosecution is absolutely right. If I get to the point to where I go, this woman did that shit, Karen Reed is 100% guilty in my mind. If I get to that point where I think that, I'm going to go, and then she's found not guilty via acquittal, hung jury, whatever, I'm going to go, not surprised at all. Not even going to be mad about it. Not even going to be mad. Because that is right there an example of the justice system working exactly how it's supposed to work. The prosecution, if the prosecution simply failed to come up with enough evidence that convinces a jury beyond a reasonable doubt, that is very important. The words that we take for granted because we hear them on TV all the time and we don't really know what they mean. But beyond a reasonable doubt, meaning there can be no doubt. And the jury has to be unanimous in this thought. So if at some point there's a hung jury and she gets off on acquittal, I'm going to be like, yeah, that's even if I get to the point to where I am totally convinced that she's guilty. Cherry, do me a favor and forward me that sleuthy goosey stuff that she sent you, unless you already did. No, you didn't. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what pisses me off the most. Dr. McDreamy. I think that's what really, really sets me off the most. I just think that's sleazy. I just think it's real sleazy to use those kids. I mean, that's not going to go well to. I don't think that that's going to play well to a jury. Why did they? I mean, what are those kids going to prove? You know what I mean? What are those kids? You know what I mean? Like, they weren't there that night. Oh, okay. I thought she already sent it, Jerry. Thank you. I mean, are you trying to? Because the only that's the reason why I say that is like bringing those kids into it, like interviewing those kids is to do nothing except somehow dig up whether or not Karen Reed was a toxic person or not. You know, did you guys like her? Was she ever mean to you guys? This and this and this, and all that does is just it's just what's that gonna do other than? Because I mean, I could look at it like, oh well, the kids are saying this, and man, that's heartbreaking. But I'm gonna be like, why the fuck are you even asking these kids that shit? Because there's plenty of people they could ask. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people that they hung out with, and they could say, well, yeah, I mean, hanging out with them, they argued a lot, blah blah blah. Right. Like, here are these kids trying to process the fact that every single person tasked with the responsibility of taking care of them has been taken off of this earth, and they're trying to process this, and you're asking them about fucking relationship drama between the person they just lost and the woman that he was dating. The fuck is that? And to me, that says something about the prosecution. To me, that says a lot about the prosecution. Because it says a lot to me about their case if they're willing to stoop to those sleazy tactics. You know? Like, that's what I'm saying, Katie May. That's what I'm saying. It looks desperate. And that's the thing. I mean, you have to, like, for me to think that this woman belongs in prison, you know, you have to you have to convince me that there was motive that was premeditated. You know what I mean? You have to convince me that she maliciously was like, I'm fucking running this fucker over with my car. Fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be hatred there. For me to sit here and think that this woman belongs in prison, you're going to have to convince me of that. And I'm not seeing that yet. I'm seeing a possible accident and her, you know, at worst case scenario, as far as her guilt goes. What I'm seeing so far is an accident that took place and her simply not taking accountability for it. While in a panic, according to the prosecution, telling the whole world that she did it, she did it, she did it. So there's remorse right there. They're establishing that there's remorse. So how is it second-degree murder? Manslaughter, I see, but how is it second-degree murder? That doesn't make sense. That right there sounds like it it sounds malicious, sounds like an agenda. Oh, we're going to do that, Sleuthy Goosey. We're going to do that. The next time I go live about this case, which will most likely be tomorrow, I will go over your timeline and look that over. I want every aspect of this case that I can go over. That's what I want to do. Because I'm not, like this is crazy shit, dude. And I've got something in the works. It's just I have to time things the right way. That's all. I want to go about exploring this case, piece by piece. Like I'm gonna do different live streams, going over different perspectives, because I know that there's sides to this here. That's what this case has become. But I have something in the works. I promise you. And it's already been established. Just a time has not been established for this yet. But I will be having a very special guest on here to discuss certain things regarding this case. And you guys are going to love it. But that's just on the back burner right now. I'm keeping that warm. I'm keeping that warm just until I'm more educated with the case. That's all. No, not canceled Karen. Canceled Karen's, I mean, she's canceled, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's why it was kind of weird, Kaylin, that you were like, oh, I'm here because of that cancel. And that's like not the first I'm seeing comments on that video. They're just like, oh, I'm over here now over that crazy Amy interview. I'm like, now? Okay. I mean, cool, but at the same time, I'm just like, why won't this cockroach die? I'm sitting here going, why? She's like a flea. Canceled Karen's like a flea that I get in between my fingers and I squeeze as hard as I can and it fucking jumps right out. Like, God damn it. Like, what? It's just weird to me. It's weird to me that all of a sudden, like, this is a thing again. Like, I don't even think that she's even done anything on Patreon yet, like, in a while, because like I vowed pretty much just for fun streams, like every time she puts something behind a paywall, I'm just gonna go over it for fun, just to troll her, because I know it makes her so mad. It's been dropped in, let me see. It's been dropped in other people's live streams in the comments, liking your video of it during the Letitia prison calls. Okay, that's why it's coming up. Oh, because Amy is in those prison calls? Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. And I'm not throwing shade at any of the creators going over it, but I can only speak for myself when it comes to the Gannon Stout case. And I felt really strongly about this case. It really, really resonated and hit home with me, man. Like it was tough on me. As far as covering cases and going over the stuff, like I had a real emotional attachment to that case. And I gotta tell you, once I got the closure that Letitia was convicted, sentenced, over and done with, that's all I needed. I feel no desire whatsoever to go over her prison phone calls. I feel no desire whatsoever to give her the attention that someone like her clearly is looking for. I don't even want to risk her having the satisfaction and me contributing to her knowing that people are still talking about her. Like, as far as I'm concerned, she has been justice has been served and she is in limbo. She is in purgatory now, as far as I'm concerned. She does not exist to me anymore because all I cared about was Gannon and Landon and Al and Lena getting justice. That is all I ever cared about, and they got it, and that's done for me. I put that case to bed. Letitia does not get that kind of attention from me ever again. I gave her too much. She dragged that trial along. She avoided it. She stalled it. And we had to wait 3 fucking years to finally get justice for this little boy. And when we finally do, I'm going to sit here and listen and talk about her prison calls. No, I'm not doing that, dude. Fuck her and her prison calls. Oh, okay. See something here. Oh, okay. Yeah, Turtle Boy is live right now. Looks like. So let's have a little fun while I still have coffee left. Let's do this. I'm not going to stream his live stream. That would be shitty. But little by little, we're going to go over a few of his we're going to go over a few of his videos here. Little by little. Now, a lot of this I just don't understand, but because he's exploring every single, like, who's this Carl guy? I see there's so many players in this that I don't understand. This is why I want to get more familiar with the case before I do a deep dive into Turtle Boy stuff, because I don't know who these people are. You know what I mean? But I also want my audience. I get these questions a lot. Who's Turtle Boy? Who's Turtle Boy? Turtle Boy is a he's a YouTuber. He's really a blogger. Okay, he's really a blogger, but he's also got a YouTube channel, and he's really good at what he's really good at what he does. But he's covering this case in the most meticulous manner that you can imagine, and also the most aggressive manner that you can think of. So he's fascinating to watch. No, it's not Dolly Vision. It is not Dolly Vision. Dolly Vision, I mean, as far as tenacity, work ethic, anything like that, like Dolly Vision here, Turtle Boy here. Like he can't even, he's not even like, Dolly Vision can't even like hold this guy's fucking shoes. It's yeah. So let's just give you an example of this dude real quick.
I just got to get Carl on the way.
So Karen Reed has been having court hearings. Her trial has not actually started yet, folks, but Karen Reed has been having court hearings. And she Turtle Boy here is 150% convinced that she is innocent. and that there is that there is a conspiracy within that county that that is designed to set her up and make her take the fall for whatever took place inside the house. The defense is claiming that she never entered the house. Or I'm sorry, the prosecution's claiming that John never entered the house. And that she hit him with the car and left him for dead in the snow in the front yard. And the defense is saying, no, he absolutely went inside the house and something happened where, oh, okay. So this is, got it. Okay. Awesome. Let me take a look at this real quick. Oh, wow. There's a lot here. I can't click on any of this stuff though. Yeah, there is a much more detailed timeline here. I'm guessing this is Sleuthy Goosey's thing that she put together here. This is a lot. I'm going to go over this tomorrow. Thank you, Cherry. Thank you, Sleuthy Goosey, for that. But yeah, this so this dude Turtle Boy, like he's totally convinced that he went into that house. The defense is convinced that he went into this house, and something happened in that house where he was attacked by a dog and beaten to death, and then left out in the snow. And it's crazy because there's a lot of people who just don't agree with this guy. I saw Mike King on Court TV paneling with Vinny and a few other people, and they don't seem to be convinced that there's any conspiracy here. Because really, I mean, I don't know. They didn't really go into that so much as they went into the fact that the prosecution is claiming that there's it's hard to explain. The prosecution is claiming that their timestamp is inaccurate on the search for made by Jennifer McCabe. I believe it was her that searched that supposedly made the Google search. How long does it take for a human body to freeze to death in the snow? So I you know, that's pretty damning, but even it doesn't really matter. Like what is, I mean, I guess it would make sense to Google that if there's a timestamp for after it was already established that he was dead and they found him, you know. But if it happened prior to that, then I mean, and it just seems like such a stupid thing to do. But anyways, so Turtle Boy is convinced that the prosecution is in cahoots with the police department, who is apparently part of this conspiracy to pin this murder on Karen Reed, and he has organized a ton of protesters that show up to the courthouse every time there is a court hearing. And again, the trial hasn't even started, and there's so many people out here. It looks like the Johnny Depp trial. Like, it is crazy, and they cheer for her when she comes up. When she comes up those stairs and gets out of the car, they treat her. I mean, they cheer for her like she's a rock star. It's insane. Yeah, they're still saying road rash. Well, the prosecution, I think, said something like, at no point did we ever say it was road rash. But the defense is saying that they did say that. So, I mean, I don't know.
Way up.
Huh?
I scanned this car. Yeah, you want to take a picture?
But this is Turtle Boy's footage outside of the courthouse.
Aiden, your phone wants to.
Oh, yes, please.
Grab it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. Carl, do you think it's appropriate to harass innocent women while they're on the courthouse steps? How come you have so much to say to Karen Reed, but you don't have anything to say to me? Are you worried that you're disgracing the Boston Police Department? Do you think it's appropriate as a Boston police detective to treat an innocent women like that? Do you think that's appropriate? Do you? How do you feel about disgracing the legacy of John O'Keefe by showing up every day with the people who murdered him?
Did anyone really ever call him Jake?
Are you do you feel bad about that at all? Are you ashamed of that? What do you think of Jen McCabe's 227 Google call? You have a Google search for how long to die in cold. While your supposed friend was dying in the cold, she wanted to know how long it would take for him to expire. What do you have to say about that, detective?
See, this is interesting because, like, I mean, what if she's guilty? And here you are, and you're screaming in this guy's face. What if John O'Keefe was really this detective's friend, and he's screaming in his face? You know what I mean? Like, what if? It's a lot, man. It's a lot. I mean, this is just how sure he is, because you got to also think he's that sure. He's not doing this just for clout, because he's doing this to a bunch of cops that live more or less locally where he lives. All these people know exactly who he is. He doesn't hide his identity in any way, shape, or form. He's that sure that these men are corrupt that he's screaming in their face, putting them on the internet and portraying them as being corrupt cops. So, I mean, that's how sure Turtle Boy is of this conspiracy, which I find fascinating because he's putting himself on the line. I would be scared shitless to be doing this to a bunch of Boston cops. That would scare the shit out of me, dude. I'm not even trying to lie. Like, this guy needs, in order to walk around, he needs a wheelbarrow just for his balls. It's crazy.
What happens when a situation like that is brought to your desk at the Boston Police Department? Do you just often decide who's innocent or guilty based on a feeling? Do you feel that Karen Reed owed you a phone call that morning? Is that what this is all about? You got your feelings hurt by a woman? Is that what this is about? That you got your feelings hurt? That Karen Reed was experiencing trauma. Trauma. She just watched her boyfriend die in front of her because your thug friends killed her. They killed her. And she didn't call you up to see how you were doing, and that hurt your precious feelings. Are you at all ashamed? No, look at him. Are you?
Wow.
How come you had so much to say to Karen Reed that day? You had a real big mouth, and you got nothing to say now. What's up with that?
This is the
Do you have any comment about that? What do you?
Your salary.
One of your own brothers in blue. Disgraceful. How'd you like this happen to your daughter? Your daughter gets wrongly accused of a crime. Murdered. Do you have any comment on that? Any comment?
I don't think it does vanish.
Yeah, what evidence do you think there is? How come you got nothing to say? I mean, if there's so much evidence, if she did it, then isn't there mountains of evidence that you could just cite right now? Can you say one thing? One thing. Can you got anything? Do you got anything? Do you have anything? Is that how the Boston Police Department, if they find a body on a front lawn, is the official? Jackie, do you have anything to say? Do you have anything to say? You had a lot to say to Karen Reed. You had a lot to say to John's other ex-girlfriend, who also came to support him. You kind of thought you were a tough girl there, huh? Intimidating her. Look at the really? You got nothing to say now. What is up with that? Why do you have nothing to say?
Wow.
You got nothing to say. Nothing? Nothing.
Wow.
Disgraceful. 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 Look at this. Fake cop. Fake cop. Fake cop.
Veteran, my ass.
Fake cop.
Wow.
Disgrace. Disgraceful.
That's fucking crazy, dude. It's fucking insane. I mean, I see like people got mixed feelings about this. I just think it's funny. I think it's just interesting that, like, because the thing is I understand. I'm starting to understand why this dude is so sure. Why this dude is so sure of. I mean, it's not like he doesn't do his homework. You know what I mean? He is totally sure that there is. I mean, but no, see, I'm not going to compare this guy to JLR because JLR will do this to people who he has absolutely no evidence against. He doesn't really do any homework on them. Like, what he'll do is he'll find their docs, and like he just makes up his mind and just goes after these people. Like, there's no evidence against Don or Candace that they did anything to Summer. There's no evidence. Nothing. And he went and screamed at him through a bullhorn. I mean, like, this guy actually does digging. And like I said, I mean, these are cops, dude. These are these are cops who he thinks are corrupt. And he actually has the balls to get in front of their faces with a camera and yell these insults at them. It's wild, man. I mean, look, that's what I'm saying is it's a gamble, dude. That's why I don't think he's doing this for clout. Like, if he was doing this for clout, like he wouldn't dig for as much evidence as he possibly can. He wouldn't be able to organize these protests as much as he possibly can. I mean, it's not just him. There's a whole network of people. This guy's live right now has 3,000 people in his chat right now. 3,000 people that are interested in what he has to say simply because he puts up a case, I don't want him not on my side. I mean, I don't care. Like, if I get to a point to where, because it just may very well happen that way. I just got to look at all the evidence, man. At least everything made available. But it seems like there's a lot more evidence to the contrary that the prosecution has for, you know what I mean? There's more evidence for the defense than the prosecution. It's what it feels like. There seems to be anyway. Like, during these hearings, I'm seeing the defense simply saying the prosecution has evidence that we know will exonerate our client, and they are refusing to share it. I mean, I'm not torn yet. I can't be torn because I haven't explored every single thing yet. I have to explore it all, before I get to a point to where, like, I'm torn. I'm not torn. I don't know enough to be torn. I'm just, I'm just not one way or the other yet. That's all. But torn is what I'm going, oh my God, there's so much and I don't know what to make of it all. I haven't even gotten there yet. So I mean, it's just it's bizarre, man. And yeah, the hold on.
Yeah.
So who was caught on a hot mic here? Let's see. Let's see who was caught on a hot mic. Yeah, I'm just going over a couple of his little videos.
Fucking random citizens, he said. Like, that's what he thinks of you people in Canton. Hi, John Connolly. This is a random fucking citizen calling you. Just want to see what you're up to right now. Want to talk about the controversy that's going on in your town. Maybe you're not aware of it. See, there's this thing called the internet. I understand a man of your stature probably really doesn't know how to work the internet machine, but on this internet thing, there's people from all over the world who are talking about what's happening in your town right now. And it's not good news. It's actually the opposite. It's really, really bad. And you're sitting next to there. I don't know if the guy next to you, they call him Chicken Parm Charlie. That guy killed someone. I don't know if you know that. He literally killed someone. And now it looks like his son might have done the same thing too. So it runs in the family. I don't know if you're aware of that, but he also called me a loser. I came to stimulate your economy one day. I was going to buy his mediocre chicken parm. I'd be the first. And he kicked me out of the store. He called me a loser. And then some other lady wore a free Karen Reed shirt to the Waterfall Bar and Grill. She's trying to stimulate the economy. And guess what? He calls her a loser and accuses her of giving me a blowjob. Did you know that, John? Yeah, that's happening in your town. So you got to get on this, John. You know, I just want to talk about this. I'm thinking about coming to a meeting soon. I'm not a random fucking citizen, though. I'm a little bit more. I'm an award-winning journalist. I don't know if you know about that. I'm going to have some questions for you and for your buddy Chicken Parm Charlie. And I think there's going to be a lot of people there. Like you're going to need a bigger town hall. You're going to need a bigger town hall. So give me a call back when you get this, pal. And, take good care of yourself. You look like you're in great shape. We'll talk soon. Bye. We'll see if he calls back. We'll see.
I mean, he's not he's not going to call you back. But this guy is not. I mean, you can't compare this guy to JLR, bro. This guy's an actual award-winning, like, gonzo journalist. He's what JLR claims to be. Like, he doesn't need to go around wearing a fucking media hat. I'm media. Like, that's not this guy. This guy, like, actually writes and investigates. This guy actually investigates. That shit was funny, dude. Like, it's hard not to like this guy. I gotta tell you. It's definitely hard not to like this guy. I mean, he reached over 100. JLR reached over 100,000 subs, but I mean, that's just because people were just so invested in the I already forgot the fucking guy's name because it's hard to pronounce, but the Brazilian dude that that escaped and was a fugitive, and then JLR was out there and he provided footage, he provided footage, and that's content, he didn't cross any boundaries that law enforcement set, and he didn't disrespect anybody. He didn't stick his camera in people's face like, oh, what do you think of this? Blah, 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 blah. He didn't do all that. People that so I mean, I'm not hating on JLR and his recent success at all. But this case, I think, needs the kind of attention that Turtle Boy is bringing to it. There's a lot of questions, man. There is a lot of questions. I mean, it's fascinating. There's a lot of questions here. And it seems like they're the kind of questions that need asking, and he's putting his reputation on the line by asking those questions. And I think that takes guts. I think that really takes guts. but you know, I mean, it's it's just really funny. I'm gonna get muddy here just for a second. I'm actually gonna get muddy just for a second. Um, oh my goodness, hold on. I just gotta find it. This might take me a second. No, man, not 2 days ago. Can't I like pinpoint mentions? Um, God, it's so annoying when I can't find something that I know I watched. I'll try this. No, that wasn't it. God, so annoying. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is just really annoying. Um, so let me I'm gonna try one more thing here. Okay, I found it. Look. Okay, so sorry. I know you guys were just sitting here just like you guys are just sitting here like, and it's not even like that important. I just wanted to um but so I've got this thing with this other creator. It's not even much. But it's just so stupid because like I like to troll people, especially when I know that they're just pathetic pieces of shit who who just can't come up with any content on their own. And they just have to like do things just because it's like in their, you know, vile little nature to do them. Um just for vile little reasons, just for like shitty little reasons, petty reasons. And so this happened.
Yeah, she would have had to do a 3-point turn, they're claiming, Remy, like in order for her to turn around and go home.
Yeah, I should have played
Damn
the
it.
music.
What do you, so Kayla, I have a question as a side note. Do you think it's a dog or do you think it's the birds?
Now, mind you, I first started talking about this case, I don't know, 3-4 days ago. My last live stream on this is probably about 4 days ago. This was like yesterday, the day before. Somebody clipped it.
I'm gonna go with the dog.
Yeah, she did have issues with them cleaning up after the dog. Let me see.
I have like the defense motion if people want to read it. Put it in chat.
I gotta look for the prosecution one a while ago.
Yeah, I read the prosecution one, but it was a while ago. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
All right, so I dropped in on this chat, even though I hate this channel. But somebody let me know that what a coincidence that I decide to start talking about this case. And this channel isn't even, they don't even cover crime cases. Like, they just talk about shit because other people are talking about it. And they notoriously go for the opposition of whatever my opinion is and assume that my opinion is something when it's not. And so I sarcastically dropped this comment. I'm so glad there's more people talking about this case. I mean, just magically all of a sudden, after I just did an entire live stream about it, going over the court hearings. And I admit I got the idea from Chasing Truth and from Deets on the Streets, because they were talking about how it was such a fascinating case. And I respect the two of them as creators so much. So I decided to take a look at it. And then I decided to start talking about it, covering it. And I decided to explore it with you guys. And so, so let's just say it's coincidence, right? That just like 2 days after I cover it, they decide they're going to cover it and go in this weird oppositional way and just already form an opinion of it without actually doing a deep dive. I'm still going through my deep dive on it. I'm still going over, learning all the facts. So I'm still going over it. And there's like there's just nothing here. And so I decided to just kind of sarcastically, because it is nice that this case is getting more coverage, because I think it needs it.
Well, damn, hold on. Is that baby Gap in here? Fancy seeing your two-faced fucking ass in here. Well, god damn.
So for those of you who don't know, there's this stupid nickname, Baby Gap, because I wear shirts that fit like this. And so they call me Baby Gap over it. My haters do, which I think is fine. It's not very creative. It just, but it's pretty funny. So when they say Baby Gap, they're referring to me, because they don't want to say my name because they're afraid it'll give me clout.
Damn, look what the fucking cat drug in. I heard you speak a fucking word about this goddamn case, so why in the fuck would you come in here and say you're glad people are talking about it? You ain't spoke a fucking word about it, have you?
Okay. But I did. She sounds really defensive. She saw the sarcasm in my comment, she could see the sarcasm in my comment, and then she's, I don't want your channel, blah 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 blah.
Haven't heard you. I don't listen to your shitty.
And I didn't say anything about that. All I said was, I'm glad people are talking about this.
A fucking word about this goddamn case. So why in the fuck would you come in here and say you're glad people are talking about it? You ain't spoke a fucking word about it, have you? Haven't heard you. I don't listen to your shit either.
2 days before this live, yeah, I did.
Well, anyway,
but yeah,
real fucking Richie to come in here and say a motherfucking anything in here. Oh, you know, I'm blocked in your fucking chat and have been for 3 years, and your bitch ass still ain't blocked in mine.
We talked about this a while ago in here, though, wasn't we?
She's so mad.
Yeah, I talked about this about a month ago. I think.
Oh, I'm glad people are talking about this.
Yeah.
Look at the comment that set her off. Look at the comment that induced this fucking tantrum. Like, even B Tim was sitting up there like, yeah, so like anyway, oh my god, this is great. Let's hear that one more time.
Well, damn, hold on. Is that baby Gap in here?
Oh my god.
Fancy seeing your two-faced fucking ass in here. Well, god damn, look what the fucking cat drug in. I ain't heard you speak a fucking word about this goddamn case. So why in the fuck would you come in here and say you're glad people are talking about it? You ain't spoke a fucking word about it.
I never even insinuated with the comment that she was talking about it because I was talking about it, but she got real defensive as if I was saying that. Jeez, I wonder why that is.
About it, have you? Haven't heard you. I don't listen to your shit either, but
Well, anyway,
real fucking Richie to come in here and say a motherfucking anything in here. Oh, you know, I'm blocked in your fucking chat and have been for 3 years, and your bitch ass still ain't blocked in mine.
Oh my
we talked about this a while ago in here, though, wasn't we?
yeah, I talked about this about a month ago. I think.
Look at all of the defensiveness, because maybe they did talk about it a month ago, maybe, but I mean, look at how defensive they are when I never even insinuated. I even put the hands up emoji, like, man, I'm really glad other people are talking about this. I'm really glad people are talking about this case. I didn't say people besides me. I didn't say anything like that. But I see where their mind is. Very telling.
About this case. What the fuck?
You can do so. You want. How you like that?
All right, I don't even know. Yeah, clip channels are so much fun. Blessed are the clip channels. I love them. Oh my god, it's so stupid. Like, the drama community is, there you have it, folks. There you have it. I didn't see anybody. I don't even fucking watch your channel. Oh my god, so much fun. So much fun. Like, all I had to do was leave a compliment in that chat to set that crazy person off. Incredible. Incredible. All right. How do I know which one? Okay. This one's like 9 minutes long. I don't know what happens here, but this is like 9 minutes long. Yeah, Evil Queen. It's so easy. It's just so easy. Like, like when you just simply do something because you know exactly how an idiot's going to react to it, and then they do. It's so much fun. All right.
That's him. Is it really?
Is it him?
What should I ask him?
I don't know, but he saw us.
Really?
And like, real quick, I want to be very clear about something too. Like, there's no claiming on these cases that people talk about. Like, cases are like this. The idea is to bring more attention to it. So even with their half-ass skills, that are fucking even half mine, mine are half-ass, so even with their even like quarter-ass skills, like, it's still attention to these cases. Like, it's fine. I just thought it was funny that the timing was more than a little coincidental, is all I'm saying. And so, but I don't want to come off like I feel like I have some sort of right over covering the case over somebody else. I'm glad they're talking about it. I wasn't lying when I left the comment. It's just I knew what was going to happen. It just fucking knew it, and it just entertained me. It was just funny to me. But no, like, it's fine. As many people talking about it, the better. I hope all the bigger channels start talking about it too. Oh no.
I think we got a super chat. Super chat. I think we got a super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Super chat. I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
Thank you, Rizzo's wife. Mickey. Not today, Satan. Satan. Thank you so much. All right, so this is Turtle Boy again. He's can't let me leave his I'm gonna leave the links to these videos when I go over them. I forgot to do it with the last one, but like, if you're not familiar with these videos, just give them a like, because I don't feel right like sharing his content without plugging them. What's up, Kill Shot? Good to see you, buddy. So just click on that video real quick and give it a like. And of course, subscribe if you're not subscribed already to
I'm gonna ask you to leave nicer. I'm gonna call the police. You can't film me inside my private business. You got 2 seconds to get out of here, and I'm gonna call the police. Please don't film me. You're trespassing. Please leave.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you a question.
You can't ask me anything.
Okay.
Get out of my store right now.
Okay. You don't want to answer any questions? I mean, you're the one that
not to
messaged
you.
me.
Not to you,
Why
buddy.
not? What's wrong with me?
Get out of my store, please. Thanks.
Where can I find Colin?
You are a loser.
Oh, I guess he doesn't like me. He doesn't like me. I just wanted to ask him a question. That's so aggressive and so rude. How dare he? How dare he? Yikes. All right. I still didn't get the selfie. I got to get the selfie.
Chicken Palm Charlie.
Said I'm a loser.
How am I? Wait till you get it. Wait.
What are you doing until I get it? get it. What does that
Whoa.
mean? Wait till I get it. We got that on film. It's okay. That's fine by me. So what do you mean? You said wait till I get it? What does that mean? Get what?
I mean, he's not doing anything illegal, you know, like he can't be out there and protest. I mean, that's technically protesting. I mean, I don't know if I agree with it. And when I say I don't know if I agree with it, I mean that I don't know if I agree with it because I really don't know what this guy's role is in this case. I have not gotten there yet as to why Chicken Palm Charlie is a factor in all of this and why he feels the need to show up to his takeout place and film him and try to ask him questions. So I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. So I don't know if what he's doing is shitty and unethical or not. You know, because I mean, if somebody fucking deserves it, then they fucking deserve it. But I mean, I don't know.
I just want to buy a pizza. Can't I buy a chicken palm? I'm a loser, he said. Okay, 30 seconds. The cops are getting here. We can wait. Let's just wait for the cops.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for the cops if that's how they want to do it. I just got a question, and that's it. He doesn't want to talk to me. He doesn't want to talk to me. I don't know what to tell him. You got that on camera, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What do you say? You got something coming to you?
Wait till you get it.
I'm going live on YouTube.
I mean, I think that's just a common, like, Massachusetts thing, calling somebody a loser. Fucking loser. Fucking loser. Fucking loser. Fucking cocksucker. Well, see, I totally usually agree with that, Misty Day. I totally usually agree with that. That's normally my argument against behavior like this. I've covered people who do stuff like this, and I usually speak up against it. But the difference here is, what if these are all part of a corrupt police organization? If this is a frame up that he's claiming it is, if this is a frame up, and I mean, this guy is putting his career as a respected journalist on the line because he is an award-winning journalist, right? So he's putting his career as a journalist on the line to do this stuff because he believes so heavily into it. So now think about this. If he's right, and if there is corruption in the police department, in the prosecutor's office, in the community town hall or whatever, if there is this kind of corruption that he's claiming there is, then the only way is to interfere with that investigation. If a woman is being framed, I mean, if an innocent woman is being framed, who should no doubt be charged with a DUI. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind about that. But if this woman is being framed, then what else are you supposed to do except interfere with this so-called investigation if this investigation is a fucking sham?
Here comes the cops.
That's fine. I have nothing.
Oh, I don't know about that. I haven't seen any of that yet. I don't know about children at lacrosse games.
So here come the Canton police.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Again, I just have a question. So we just got kicked out of DMV, so tried to go inside and start yelling at me and threatening me.
yeah, like why wasn't everyone's blood alcohol level checked? Which I find interesting. Why wasn't everyone's blood alcohol level checked? Why didn't everyone have a breathalyzer? Oh, kill shot. Thank you so much, buddy. Gifted 5 memberships. So Laugh at Life, Misty Day, Piper, Marie the Maina, CR. Congrats to you guys. Appreciate you. Sorry, I got distracted. Thank you, kill shot, man. Appreciate that. I mean, if he's calling out corrupt police, I mean, that's what you should be doing. Because who else is going to call him out? You know what I mean? I mean, if everybody's corrupt from the fucking DA's office down, or even higher up than the DA's office, as he's claiming it is, then what are you supposed to do other than, I mean, this is what we end up doing. What we end up doing is, when there's a situation like this where there just seems to be a lot of corruption, the people that end up uncovering it, we rely on journalists. We rely on ethical journalists to uncover this stuff. And so, I mean, again, if he's wrong, then he deserves for his career to be fucking fucked. You know what I mean? Because he's taken a lot of risks. He's getting in a lot of people's faces. He's fucking with a lot of people's reputations. So if he's wrong, then, then he deserves to have his reputation fucked with, but he doesn't come off to me as a guy who even remotely believes that he's wrong at all. And he doesn't seem like a dumb guy either. Agreed, country boy. I agree with you. Now, does this seem biased? Absolutely. I would not call this unbiased journalism. I would not call it that.
Hi, officer. Good, thanks. How are you? All right. Issue inside? No. We told him we'd wait here. I mean, we just tried to go in and speak to him. And then I have no problem. You want to talk to him for a second? I did leave because I'm not inside, so we got to. I mean, that's fine.
And this guy's like got no fear of how he's going to be treated by the cops either. Like everybody, that whole department has to know who he is. You know what I mean? Like he has no fear that these cops are simply not going to take his side. They are immediately going to think of him as the aggressor because he's accusing a bunch of cops of corruption and collusion and a frame of an innocent woman. He's accusing them of murdering. He's accusing them of murdering and conspiring to cover up one of their fellow officers. You see what I'm saying? Like there's no way that I would expect those cops to be to be impartial here.
I had no intention of staying at all. I figured he told me he was calling the police, so I figured I'd just stick around till the police got here to make things clear that what was the issue. Oh, I have no idea. I mean, what would you say the issue is? It's like
You just walked in and he told you to leave.
He started yelling at me and told me to leave because he recognized me. And
Started yelling.
Started yelling at me and he goes, "You need to leave." I go, "Okay." I got the whole thing on video, so at no point do I say, "I want to stick around." Because I'm calling the cops and you're going to get it, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't call the police. I didn't know what the cops about, but I guess he did. I don't know what line. could have gotten the card and left, but they figured because they'll be here in 30 seconds. So I go, okay, I guess I'll just wait and tell them what happened. So I you from around here? Not from Holden. That's Worcester. Holden? Yeah. Okay. I'm from Turtle Boy Daily News. Okay. Are you familiar with it? No. Oh, you're not? Oh, that's good. So basically, we've been looking into the.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Just.
734 Fairview Road. And Chris's son was in the house that night. He was believed to have been involved in assaulting Officer O'Keefe before his body was placed on the lawn. And, Chris has messaged me before on Facebook, so he initiated a conversation with me. And I just wanted to continue the conversation, so I figured to come by and say hello. And he saw me and immediately started threatening me. And he kicked me out of the pizza shop. I wanted to get a chicken parm. And he kicked me out, and I left. I was fully cooperative, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate that. Obviously, if he doesn't want you in the business, he has the right to ask you to leave, so we appreciate you stepping out.
Yeah.
Do you have just some ID? Can I get some ID on it?
You can Google me. Probably in the car.
No, he wants your ID. He wants your ID, because it's policy to ask for it. First of all, I mean, if somebody calls the cops on you, you got to ask them for ID. Never seen a cop not do that who wasn't, not doing his job. And they have to check you for warrants. They have to see if you have any warrants. That's why he wants your ID.
But I appreciate it. How about that?
Do you want mine too?
Are you around here a lot, or just today?
This is only my second time weekend like last month, but I'll be here a lot more. Okay.
I mean, for all we know, this cop doesn't even give a fuck about what's all going on. Like, it's just a day in, day out kind of thing for him. Like patrol cops, man, they're like, they're like garbage men, man. They pick up drunks. You know what I mean? Like, they're not investigators, They break up domestic fights. They say, hey, you go your way, you go the other way. You know what I mean? Like,
About almost 3 years. Are you the sergeant? Or okay.
Just having an issue with the shop owner. He asked me to leave.
Yeah, I left. Yeah,
He did walk out.
no problem. Like he asked me to leave. It's his business. He has every right to, so I left. Our interaction lasted about 10 seconds, and then he started kind of threatening me. I don't know the exact words. I'm not making a big deal of that. And so clearly he was like the aggressor, and I don't know why he's calling the cops over this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We appreciate that you left.
Yeah.
Obviously, going to ask you to stay out of the business.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah. He doesn't want to make me chicken pie. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, I mean,
it's mediocre anyway.
There's plenty of places around to get lunch.
Yeah.
there are plenty of praises, and like he didn't really threaten him. Like, let's be honest here. Like, he didn't exactly threaten him. At least I didn't hear it. I may have missed it. But I what I'm getting out of that is I think that when he said you got yours coming, or it's whatever, I think he just meant the cops are coming, and then that's it. Like they called the cops and he was just kind of letting them know, that, but he didn't have to say that. But I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to call that a threat. It could be construed as a threat, I guess, but that was just.
Is Lieutenant Lank on right now, by any chance? I don't think so. Okay. All right. Were you guys working the night of January, the morning of January 29th, 2020? How far back? Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Yeah, thank you. All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
So who's this rapper fucking idiot? Do they have a channel or something, or are they just it's just a fucking a half-ass sorry troll? Like, because that's not the first time I've seen them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just fucking. Everybody's like troll, dumb fuck troll. Yeah. Douche. You can't think, I mean, you're a troll. You can't think of a better fucking handle than that fucking $2 one. 1 versus 1 in the parking lot. Yeah, bomb. Bro, you're not even good at it.
There it is, guys. So I'm in Canton today, guys. That's just some of the footage. I got a lot of footage. It's thought to give you guys a preview of what I've been dealing with today. I'll be home in a couple of hours. I'll report back in tonight.
Fucking who's that?
We're going to review everything, baby. Peace, Turtle Riders.
I hope I don't get dinged for having that song on here. Oh, man. Hold on. Um, how long is this one? Let's look at the rolling rally highlights. Here, let me all right, so do me a favor. I'm putting the link in chat here for each video that I play. So if you can just head over there real quick and give it a like, I'd really appreciate it.
People call, say beware, doll, you're bound.
See, I don't want to get dinged for playing those songs, man. But at least go over there and give it a like. Let me see. Let's see what
look at this.
His reaction to the defense attorney here.
Office essentially
Cameraman.
on receiving subject of arraignment, subject of a conference.
Okay, Lunchbox.
The Commonwealth felt that it was appropriate to file this motion asking the court to simply order that the counsel conform their conduct.
Now here's David Unetti.
As for me, Your Honor, I have 3 words for this court. 3 words forming
There we
one
go.
question.
This is where he gets mad.
How dare they? How dare the prosecution try to prohibit defense counsel from doing our jobs? How dare they?
Now, see, it's hard not to like this defense, man. I got to be honest. Every time I've seen this defense speak up, I'm usually like really just kind of blown away because they're just really thorough and they seem very passionate. Prosecution doesn't seem very passionate about their case at all. Maybe it's just because they've got bad representation. Maybe these are just expensive attorneys, man, and that's why you're paying so much for their services as defense attorneys. So it's just fascinating to me. But it's hard to not appreciate the effort that these defense attorneys are putting in, because they seem like they believe in their client, you know.
Ask this court to take away our First Amendment right to free speech. How dare they try to trample on my client's Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial and their 14th Amendment rights to due process of law? How dare they? Your
Get him, Greta.
I've represented Karen Reed since January 29th, 2022. From the beginning, she has faced a prosecution team that did everything they could to poison the well of public opinion. Before she was initially arrested on manslaughter charges, I formally contacted the Massachusetts State Police in writing and promised that if they took out charges.
No, Ski Mask Andy, I traded 200 subs. I traded 200 idiots like you for quality subs. So, yeah, I didn't lose anything, actually.
Against my client would fully cooperate. I confirmed that I would walk her in and surrender her.
Doctor needed the perp walk.
Completely ignored that promise of cooperation.
Yep.
Insisted on arresting her so that they could parade her before the media.
Proctor did that, by the way.
They got their perp walk.
They got the perp walk.
Of the well
right.
Began.
Exactly.
And almost immediately thereafter, no less than Superintendent-in-Chief of the Boston Police Department, Gregory Long, came out immediately in public to declare that the state police and the Norfolk DA's office had arrested the person responsible for John's death.
Person responsible.
Superintendent Long did not caution that someone accused of a crime is innocent until proven guilty. He did not caution the public to keep an open mind.
Nope.
He did just the opposite. He announced in public for everyone to hear that, in his opinion, Karen Reed was guilty, and let's pat the prosecution on the back. That statement was broadcast on almost every media outlet. It was posted to the Boston Police official Facebook account. It was posted to the Boston Police official Twitter account. It was posted to the Boston
Like they're all concerned about poisoning a jury pool.
Right from the start, the Boston Police announced that Karen
But only when the defense fights back. Not when their side gets shit out there and leaks. Yeah, where was Lally then?
From the start, they controlled the narrative, and as long as they did, all was well. They had Karen Reed right where they wanted her, and with the public being told, there's nothing to see here. She hit him with her car. She's guilty. Just trust us. They were able to control the narrative and get away with it, I suggest to the court, because they withheld discovery from us for months. At my client's arraignment in Stoughton District Court, you can pull the tape. I couldn't even get a police report from the government.
Wow.
They claimed that no police reports had been written. They fought me.
When was that?
I was right at her arraignment in Stoughton District Court. They fought me when I tried to get search warrant affidavits. They stalled and delayed and hindered our ability to fight the narrative that they had put out there. And in the meantime, Canton Police Chief Rafferty was allowed to publicly state that the facts revealed by the defense were just, quote, sensational accounts. And they really should just trust.
Nice going, Helena.
Was allowed to publicly state that the defense attorneys were just spinning it and it's going nowhere. The Norfolk County DA is allowed to suggest regarding the timing of Jen McCabe's 2:27 a.m. Google search, which we can't prove without any doubt. The Norfolk County DA suggested to the media that we may not have interpreted the raw data.
Yeah, remember that when they're like, oh,
both Chief Rafferty and the Norfolk DA.
yeah, that Google search, nothing to see here. You're just interpreting it wrongly. They still haven't explained how we're interpreting that wrongly, but they get to talk to the media. It's okay when they talk to the media. Okay.
Spokesman David Trout claimed that they were ethically constrained from commenting, but that didn't stop them from commenting anyway, publicly stating essentially that the defense is not to be trusted. Where was the prosecution when all of that was going on? Where was the request for a gag order then? It's a rhetorical question, of course, because there were none. The prosecution was perfectly happy to have potential jurors hear all of this unfairly prejudicial information about Karen Reed because it would help their pathetically weak case that they brought against her. And the case is pathetically weak because they've arrested the wrong person, yet inexplicably refused to admit it. They were quite happy with the press.
Wow.
This case was getting when it was in their favor, and their minions were out doing their work with the media. Once the evidence started to trickle in, the tide turned, and it did turn in a big way. In May of this year, Your Honor, we displayed the injuries to John O'Keefe's
Yep, exactly.
arm, I should say. And they started to question.
Yeah, see the difference?
That was a seminal moment when everyone started to realize Karen Reed did not do it.
Yeah.
You see the difference in that picture versus the picture that I showed earlier that showed the elbow. That's where you really see the biting, that what looked like bite marks. that doesn't look like bite marks to me. That just looks like lacerations. So that's why I was like, no, I'm not convinced that that was an animal attack. But then later on, I saw a different angle that showed more on the elbow side of that. And most definitely, I feel as though, yeah, most definitely, I feel as though at this point that could very well be an animal attack. I didn't think so before, but because of that photograph, and then the one that I shared just a little while ago. No, it's the same arm. It's the same arm, except there's more like the arm is turned a little bit more towards where the elbow is pointed more towards the camera. And then you can actually see where there's more extent to these injuries that you can't see that make it look more like a bite mark. That just doesn't look like bite marks to me. You know what I mean? So now I'm thinking like once I saw that, I was like, oh, well, that's different. Because that looks like scratching. You know what I mean? It could be an animal, but not an animal attack with teeth, you know? But so I was just wondering why they chose that angle to show the judge rather than the angle that I showed. Right, that's what I'm saying, Laura Lee.
What really happened here? That was a seminal moment when everyone started to realize Karen Reed did not do this, but somebody else did. And it is also salient that our statements were made in court. In court. Their statements were made out of court. Can you imagine the hypocrisy of the prosecution now coming before this court to suggest that a gag order is appropriate? Dare they?
How dare they? How dare
Not only
they?
is it
How dare they?
It's unconstitutional.
Yeah, so they denied the gag order, which I'm glad they did, you know, because that's pretty damning. I mean, just the fact that that's very damning to the prosecution. The fact that they even requested a gag order is bad. The fact that they filed a motion for a gag order and then it got denied, man, that is a bad look. What do they not want you to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they not want you to know? Self-inflicted. What? How could that be self-inflicted? That makes absolutely no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. But guys, yeah. I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. This has been 3 hours, and I had a really nice time with you guys, and I really appreciate you guys joining me. And those of you who are already familiar with this case, I appreciate you indulging me because this is, like I said, what I like to do is I like to explore these things with you guys. This is how I handle most cases that I cover. And I like to explore these things with you guys. So the next time I go live, I am going to go over because I like to get different perspectives, and I'm going to go over the stuff provided to me by Sleuthy Goosey. And Sleuthy Goosey seems to have put together her own timeline that seems pretty thorough as well. So there's a lot of stuff in there. The problem is I don't think it's got links that I can click on that provides documents, and I want to see those documents that are provided in that timeline. So maybe I can, maybe she can contact me on Twitter, and we can kind of figure out how to get there. But I want to see these documents. And I know that there's documents, and that's the other thing. I know that there's documents provided in Turtle Boy's website. So when I start going over more Turtle Boy stuff and I do a deep dive into Turtle Boy's perspective on things, I'm going to take a look at those documents, and we're going to go over those. So I really appreciate you guys. This is gonna consume me for a while. So just for the record, this is gonna consume me for a while. So I appreciate you guys and indulging me here. So I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you're enjoying going down this road with me on this case and trying to find an unbiased medium point here. And I mean, there's either one side that's right, one side that's wrong. That's the thing about this case. But I have to go about this in an unbiased manner. I cannot just all of a sudden make the decision, hey, Turtle Boy's right, and the defense has everything and they're doing great, and I can't just jump down the path that, hey, the prosecution has all this proof and blah blah blah. I just don't know yet. So that's what we're doing together. We're exploring this stuff unopinionated, and we're gonna share our opinions on each little turn down these roads that we get to. So so that's how I like to handle these cases. I just have never come across a case like this since the Sophie Long thing, and I still feel very strongly about my opinions on that case. And I don't regret it. I don't regret a thing that I've ever said or done in regards to that case, because I went over documents, evidence. Okay. And shit is what it is. So, and I know a lot of people are still bitter about that. And I kind of love it, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we're going to approach this in the same manner. We're going to go over every bit of evidence that is made available to the public. And we're going to do that together. So I hope you guys are interested. Anyways, I love you guys very much. I'm going to wrap this up, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.